Hi everyone, we are now finally on to modifying column widths and row heights, and for this I have a spreadsheet here and I want to show you a few ways to do this. And actually I'm going to start with the one that you won't really find anywhere documented unless you're really searching for it, because it's one of the legacy keyboard shortcuts that seems to have remained from the old 2003 versions. The underlying issue, as you can see with these 5 columns here, is that they're not wide enough. And so the way you usually define row heights and column widths is that you select whatever you want to change, in this case these 5 columns, and you then change them. Now the legacy keyboard shortcut that I tend to use is Alt, which you can't see but I've pressed it, there you go, and then OCA. And OCA, I now don't remember what it stands for, it's back in the old 2003 and prior versions, but basically I think, well, it just sets your column width to automatic. So that's one option. The other option you can do, which is also doable, going back to where it was, if you have a selection and see how, depending on how you mouse, sometimes it gets into this 2-arrow thingy bobby. If you double click, it does the same thing. Now one of the things you might want to keep in mind, especially with the legacy key setting, is that it only applies to whatever you selected. So if I now have in here something very long and I make the column not long enough, if I do it this way, double click here, actually I'll just click away and then double click, it will alter with the column to all that's on your screen and below, I think. Whereas if you do it the keyboard shortcut OCA, it will only alter with whatever you selected, in this case Apple. So that thing is longer than Apple, but Excel ignores it. So the other way you can work with column widths and row heights is coming into Format on the Home tab, and you can change, well, you can always AutoFit, which is what we've been doing so far, and you can also do row height and column width. So if you want to define a numeric value and it gives you what it is currently, you can type in something else like 15, and that will just make it the way you want. Again, alternatively, you can just drag and drop and it gives you the number, which isn't particularly relevant. It's more for you to remember that, oh, you want it 360 pixels. So if you drag and drop up here, you can be slightly more specific without knowing the number you're after. So that's one option. Yeah, I hope that was useful. Now the other thing is with row height is exactly the same. You can drag and drop and you can double click and it does the same. You can go into Format and just change the value to something that works for you. Let's say 20. So yeah, that's row height and column width, and then the next one will be freezing and unfreezing rows and titles. So do come back and watch. Thank you.